I experimented using Monoprint, mixed Monoprint and Lino, as well as working with images on Photoshop and pasting them on top of each other like this stuff. It's going to go out of focus, but I wanted to do the picture, black and white it, and then put colour on top so you can see those. So yeah, I did a lino of a boy on some swings. I didn't like doing lino because I thought it was quite fiddly, quite deep. Like, for me, I found it quite hard to do. I don't know if it's because I'm not confident with my drawing or what it was, but I didn't like doing it, and I'd stab myself all the time and things like that. I thought it was quite risky as well because you only had one chance of getting it right. Well, kind of. If you muck up on, like, you cut a bit you're not meant to, that's it. You can't go back, you can't put paint back over it or anything. You have to go with what it's done. And that really annoyed me, the fact that I couldn't change it because I'm a bit of a freak like that. And I'd either cut it too low or deep, and it would like go through the other side so the ink could seep through, and it was just a mess. The images came out okay at the end, but I think the actual process would have done my head in the exam, and I would have just screamed and gone crazy. So I didn't do the lino, but that's all up on my blog, which will be probably underneath this video, I'm not sure. And then I did monoprinting, and I actually really like monoprinting because I thought it gave a different texture to it. I thought it was different, and you get a really nice colour payoff. It's quite, depending on what colour you use, like say a blue, it was a really vivid like royal blue, and it was a really nice colour, and I did like the texture of it. It was quite bad because you only had one chance at it, so that kind of sucked, because if you wanted to do a few prints of the same thing, you'd have to redraw it again and again and again, whereas it would be nice just to draw it, print it, put a bit more paint on, print it, bit more paint, print it, so you've got a varied selection of things to choose. The mixed monoprint, I think it's called mixed monoprint, I did like that because it had, like, I used watercolours for the background and just went crazy with it, like there was pinks and greens and blues everywhere. And I really did like that, but it's the same as the monoprint. I only had one chance of getting it right. But I did like the different way of doing it, where you have to put the paper on top of the ink, and then you draw onto the back of the paper. Now that I found difficult as well, because I didn't like knowing that I couldn't see what I was drawing. That kind of wound me up a little bit. So I decided to scrap those after a while. I did like doing them, ish, but I think I was fixed on my idea, and they were all really time consuming. So I thought in the 8 hours I had, I wasn't going to finish this. Like, there's no way that I can get all of these printed, dried, into Photoshop, print the book, fold the book, do everything in time. Because time's not my friend, I didn't think I could do it. And with the photoshopping images, I found that I was much more comfortable, much more relaxed. I knew I had more ideas, I could play with things, I could Photoshop things in. Whereas with the lino monoprint and mixed monoprint, I couldn't do any of that. Well, I could on Photoshop, but I wanted to keep it exactly how it was. And just not, yeah. And with the lino, another thing, I actually didn't understand how it worked, because I think if you cut, the bits you cut stay white, and I thought that the bits you cut, the ink seeped through and then did it. Thinking on it now, it does make sense, but at that point I just didn't understand at all.